DJ Airhorn headline of the day, in a shocking revelation that he can, on occasion, read the room, New York governor and Italian stereotype preservationist Andrew Cuomo announced that he will resign effective in 2 weeks. But beforehand, he offered this explanation that you can soon hear in person when he opens for Louis C.K.
In my mind, I've never crossed the line with anyone. But I didn't realize the extent to which the line has been redrawn. There are generational and cultural shifts that I just didn't fully appreciate.
It's a show of real personal responsibility to lay blame on an entire generation and the culture at large.
I mean, let me get this straight, honey. Cuomo can't hold a woman, but the woman can hold him accountable? What? I mean, huh? Like, what? Like, okay. What? I'm talking, huh? You know?
Right.
165-page investigative report, more than a dozen credible accusations, the President of the United States himself calling on his resignation, months of constant public pressure, then he resigns. The system works.
The nerve of Cuomo to do this during his own brother's personal vacation.
Now moving on, in a slap in the face to our hemorrhoid pillow highness, Donald Trump, the Senate passed a $1 trillion upgrade to our infrastructure that would severely limit the ingenuity that tetanus madness brings to this country. How dare avowed communists like Mitt Romney and Chuck Grassley deny me the freedom to be randomly impaled by rebar on my commute to work? Republican Senator and customer-pushing Neiman Marcus managers off the wagon, Marsha Blackburn, said it best.
The Democrats aren't interested in improving the bill. I had one amendment that would have called for taking $1 billion from Amtrak's slush fund and using it to build the wall.
This bill is an outrage. Amtrak should not get $1 billion to build a slushy machine, but if they do, oh, buddy, you know your boy's future urine will always be purple.
This bill is so partisan, it doesn't address any Republican concerns like upgrading the gallows we built for Mike Pence.
Oh, you said it. I go to Japan and they have such advanced ways to separate Pence's head from his doughy white body.
Now, hold on, just to push back here, a high-speed rail system would quickly transport Mike Pence's head from Washington to Boston, where those meatheads could really go to town on it.
For real. Listen to this. The UN's Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change released a report saying we've already made the planet a delicious medium rare, as if people don't like steak. In an editorial that definitely has no concern for how regulation eats into a profit stream, the Wall Street Journal says the gargantuan report will take time to plow through, but a read of the 41-page summary for policymakers and perusal of the rest suggests that there is no good reason to sacrifice your life or even your standard of living to the climate god. Yeah, sacrificing my standard of living isn't going to get the rebar out of my shoulder right now, so why do it? Now let's bring in director of the Emmy-nominated documentary Q, Into the Storm, Cullen Hoback. What's poppin', Cullen?
Thanks for having me.
Now, Cullen, you believe QAnon followers are a cult whipping themselves into a frenzy based on online falsehoods. Aren't climate scientists doing the exact same thing, only for decades of meticulously collected data?
I think it's a false correlation, but you've got obviously a lot of people who for years now have felt like maybe institutions are failing them, so they start looking to other sources, and so they're turning away from science, they're turning away from mainstream media, and they're trying to come up with and then they end up somewhere far worse, right?
Wrong.
When you get right down to it, the Earth is a business, and sometimes businesses go under. We can't be picking winners and losers in the solar system.
Also, the report said we've already irreversibly warmed the planet. It's not climate change, it's climate changed. Let's stop living in the past and move on with our scalding hot lives.
Yep, good points all around. Now moving on, my knight in shiny hair gel, Governor Ron DeSantis is threatening to withhold funding and salaries from schools that issue mask mandates, punishing those schools for keeping children alive over the wishes of their parents. This is all getting too political. Let's just listen to the scientists.
I suggest to all my followers, you guys set an appointment and get the vaccine first thing. Psych! Bitch! If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I never had COVID. You ain't sticking me with that needle. It's the flu. Get over it, okay? If you're sick, stay inside. I'm tired of having okay? Why are we working around y'all? If you're in danger, stay your ass inside. I'm tired of wearing a mask.
Yeah, so what if COVID cases are soaring? So now breaking records is a bad thing? Someone tell that to all the athletes in Tokyo. Cullen, now that Ron DeSantis and Chet Hanks have weighed in, is the debate closed or do we need a third opinion from Jake Paul?
I'm pretty sure we need a third opinion. I mean, I think for the last year and a half, people were trapped inside. They were looking for answers. They wanted a sense of control in their lives, and they started turning to the internet. They were doom scrolling. They were finding things that felt true. And this is a lot of sort of the way the QAnon works. People are drawn to this idea of easy answers. The idea that there's like this evil global cabal of Satan worshiping pedophiles out there that are responsible for all the evils in the world.
Yep.
Which is way more exciting than the truth.
DeSantis is doing this to boost the economy in Florida. Spring break is going to be crazy this year when it's just kids emptying the urns of their friends onto the beach.
Ron DeSantis is right about getting government out of schools, famously the place where there are no rules and kids can do whatever they want.
Mask mandates in school? No way, honey. Everybody knows you learn through your mouth.
Good points, everybody. All right, moving on. Now, the pro-not-dying-nistas claim that the right-wing media sphere is riddled with paranoid misinformation about vaccines. But that's a lie, and anyone who says otherwise is trying to extract your blood. Just listen to Hungary's Goebbels in training, Tucker Carlson.
You wonder how far they can go before people say, I'm not against vaccines. I obviously want to get COVID under control, but you can't force me to take a medicine I don't want. If you can do that, why can't you sterilize me or lobotomy? What can't you do to me if you own my body?
Great point, but as a conservative, I gotta ding Tucker for hinting at bodily autonomy within earshot of a woman. Now, Tucker's concern about government overreach brings us to our recurring segment. Did you hear about this thing in my head?
Oh, here
yes.
we go.
Yeah, go,
Okay,
Tyler.
here
All
we
right.
go.
Now, Tucker's right. If they can force us to take a vaccine so we don't kill our friends and family, what's to stop them from injecting bleach into our perfect, enormous testicles and pulling our brains out our noses?
I don't wear my seatbelt because what's next in my head? I'll have to wear like 10 seatbelts. I can't drive and chuck gushers at my ravenous, drooling children wearing 30 damn seatbelts.
I don't follow decency laws and wear clothes outside because, in my head, that's an invitation to liberals to brick me up inside my own basement walls where no one can hear my screams.
Exactly. Colin, explain to everyone why we live in reality and not a delusional projection of our own insecurity.
I think that if you were to talk to a QAnon, they would say that someone who believes in QAnon, right? They would say that everybody who is wearing masks right now, or they might say that those who are getting the vaccine are sheeple. They live in the matrix. So, from their perspective, we aren't living in true reality.
Isn't it suspicious how well the vaccines are working? Almost as if they were created in a lab.
Whoa.